Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Julie's Orchids. Today we're going to have a talk about this real cute little flower you see before you, and this is Phragmipedium pink panther. So do stick around for more information on how I grow and rebloom this Phragmipedium. All right, guys, so welcome back. So as I mentioned, this is Phragmipedium pink panther, and I bought this because it's Phragmipedium pink panther, just because of the name. And to my happy surprise, I found out that it's a primary hybrid. So this is a cross between two species, Phragmipedium schlimnii and Phragmipedium fisherii. And it's just the cutest, most adorable little Phragmipedium you'd ever like to get. Now, being a primary hybrid of two different species, it's good to know where your species are from. So Phragmipedium schlimnii is from Colombia, and it's classified as a medium-sized, warm to cool-growing plant, whereas Phragmipedium fisherii is found in Ecuador, and it is a small-sized, cool to warm-growing plant. Which means, what do we know about Phragmipedium pink panther? Well, it's a smaller orchid than some of the Phragmipediums can get. So some Phragmipediums can get massively huge. This one stays a bit more on the dainty, delicate side, which is nice. Some of them are reported to have a bit of a rose-like fragrance, particularly that comes from the schlimnii parent. Now, this is my plant's second blooming, so I bought it as a seedling, and I was pleasantly surprised when the seedling fan bloomed. And this is its second fan that it's put out, and it's bloomed. Now, the first time it bloomed, it only gave me one flower, but this one has got another little bud peeking out back here. So it's a multifloral, which makes it even nicer. It tolerates intermediate temperatures, so I grow it indoors. And basically, if I'm healthy and happy temperature-wise, this little plant also seems to be healthy and happy temperature-wise. Now we've zoomed out here for you guys to see exactly how small the plant is. Like I said, by comparison to some other Phragmipediums, this one is quite dainty. Now, I think it will get a bit bigger than this as progressive fans come along. As I mentioned, this is its second fan. I bought it as a seedling. The first seedling grew a flower, and now the second fan has grown a flower. But it's not going to get as big as some of my other Phragmipediums that those flower spikes get up to 4 feet tall. This one will stay a bit more delicate and dainty, and it's happy growing temperature-wise. Where your temperatures are comfortable, it tends to be comfortable. And I think that comes from that nice mix of both of the different species liking either, cool to hot, and that kind of throws it in the everything in between zone. So it's a nice little plant for growing indoors, really in any climate. It also doesn't really require super huge amounts of humidity. So if you can keep your humidity in your house levels at about 50%, it'll be fine. It'll be happy. But I can say, as with all Phragmipediums, their roots don't like to be exposed to air, nor do they like to dry out, which is why I'm going to now talk about how I have this potted up. So as we can see, I've got it planted in pumice. I've got all of my plants planted in pumice. But I have the smaller rooted plants. You can see the roots are quite small in the small pumice. And the Phrags absolutely love it. You can see we've got all sorts of new root growth coming. There's nothing shy about the roots on this plant. Now, I do have algae built up on the inside rim of this cup, but that's not a big deal. As you can see, the roots are growing right through it just fine. So I keep it in this semi-hydro setup with the 2 holes at the bottom, and there's usually a little water level in here. Now, I watered yesterday, and for filming purposes, I poured the water out so I didn't accidentally pour the water all over the place. But it'll keep a water level in here to that level, and then that'll slowly evaporate or be sucked up by the roots, and that just helps to keep everything dry. You can really tell when this needs to be watered because there's a perceptible difference in the weight of the plant when you pick it up. So it's quite heavy now, and when it's dry and needing water, it's noticeably lighter. Had a little bit of problems with some spider mites and things in the collection, and this plant fortunately did not suffer from them. I've got a little bit of leaf tip burn where I had accidentally given it a bit too much fertilizer. Again, with the Phragmipediums, they don't like a lot of fertilizer. They don't like a lot at all. It causes leaf tip burn. Now, the watering schedule these guys get is they get watered every week, every Saturday. Through the winter time here in Perth, when the humidity levels are much higher through the house and just in general, I can go 2 weeks without watering them. But in the summertime, they definitely need to be watered at least once a week. Before I had them in this semi-hydro setup and I had them planted in bark, I was finding through the summertime I was having to water the Phragmipediums daily, sometimes twice a day. And as I work full time, that just wasn't cutting it. So I found something that works for me. And I find that the Phragmipediums and the Paphiopedilums absolutely love pumice in the semi-hydro setup. And as I did mention in regards to fertilizing and leaf tip burn, so these guys don't get fertilized hardly at all. They get fertilized once a growing season at very, very low levels. They might get 70 parts per million combined of calcium, magnesium, and fertilizer. And I'll get them that in the beginning of the growth season. And if they're particularly vigorous, let's say they put out 4 or 5 new growths, I'll pump that up a little bit, maybe give it to them 2 or 3 times through the growing season, but they certainly do not get as much fertilizer as the rest of my orchid plants do. I absolutely just love the slipper on this. It's so cute. It's hard to view, but you can see just how small it is and how delicate this little flower is. It's got the prettiest colorings and a fat little slipper. I just love it. Absolutely adorable. And even bonus, it's a multifloral. Well, there you go, guys. That's how I take care of a primary hybrid Phragmipedium. This is a nice little Phragmipedium. Would be good for a home grower. Phragmipediums like it wet. They like to be moist all the time, so it's good for, or the genus is good for those helicopter plant parents that like to overwater their other orchids. This is a genus of orchids that doesn't mind that. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I have opened up membership on the channel if you'd like to join. All the proceeds will go back into the orchid collection to help take care of the orchids, getting them things like fertilizer, calcium, or magnesium, and the occasional replacement light that it might need. Thank you so much again for watching, and have a lovely day.